What's going on, everybody? American Football Network here with another video today. And today we are bringing you guys our Auburn and Arkansas preview prediction video. But before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment those thoughts and opinions down below. Help me reach that goal of 2,200 subscribers by the end of September. Check out the description where you'll find links to our shop, which you see on the screen right now, and all of our products, our podcast, our website, our Patreon page, and our College Football Roundup channel. So check all of that stuff out. A lot of good stuff over on the shop, a lot of great products. Go get some merch. And so check all that out. Help support the show. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So today we are looking at Auburn and Arkansas. You look here, both these teams come into this game at 2-1. Arkansas, a 3-point underdog on the road at Auburn. ESPN FPI gives Auburn a 59% chance to win this game. Take that as you may. You look at these teams so far this season. Arkansas, big win in week 1 over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Won that one 70-0. Lost at Oklahoma State 39-31 in double overtime. A good game in that one, and then beat UAB this past week 37-27. On the flip side for Auburn, beat Alabama A&M 73-3. Lost to Cal in a ugly, just horrible game 21-14, and beat New Mexico 45-19. So when you look at these two teams and you really break this game down, both of these teams primarily on the ground, I would say, they like to get that running game going. You look at the stat leaders for these teams. Taylor Green at quarterback for the Razorbacks, 53 of 94 on the year, 806 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Peyton Thorne for Auburn, 27 of 48, 487 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. Now you look at Jaquindon Jackson for the Razorbacks, 47 carries, 397 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jarquez Hunter on the other side for the Tigers, 36 carries, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Andrew Armstrong leads the Razorbacks, 301 yards on 18 catches, and Keandre Lambert-Smith leading the way for Auburn with 7 catches, 182 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So when I look at this game and I break this game down, and I look at the 3 big factors in who's going to win this football game, I look at number 1, establishing a running game. On the year, Arkansas comes in averaging 259 rush yards per game, 6.6 yards per carry. 15 of their 18 touchdowns on the season have come on the ground. You look at Auburn, they come in averaging 188.7 rush yards per game, 6.4 yards per carry. A third of their touchdowns coming by way of the running game. So you look at these teams and you look, all right, they both like to run the football, especially early in the game, establish that running game. To me, both of these running games are very good if you look at it. And the biggest factor for me that I think is going to be who can stop the other team's run game. Who can make the other team have to throw the football, especially right out of the gate early in this one. When you look, Arkansas is the 9th best run defense in the country. They're only allowing 61.7 yards a game, 2.2 yards per carry. You look for, on the flip side, for Auburn, their defense 31st in the country, 97.3 yards a game, 3 yards a carry allowed. Both of these running games are good. To me, it comes down to who can stop it and make the other one one-dimensional, because neither one of these quarterbacks are great. I would take Taylor Green over Peyton Thorne, but neither one of these quarterbacks are great. You would definitely want to run the football, as Arkansas also leans on the run more so than Auburn does. So I think if Auburn can stop Arkansas run, that benefits them a little bit more than Arkansas stopping Auburn's running game. But the running game is going to be huge in this one. This is going to be a game that is going to be won in the trenches. Number 2 I look at is turnovers. Arkansas, 4 turnovers on the year, 2 fumbles, 2 picks. A -2 turnover margin. Auburn on the year, 9 turnovers, 5 fumbles, 4 picks, a -7 turnover margin. So when I look at these numbers, Arkansas doesn't turn the ball over quite as much as Auburn does, but neither one of these teams really force any turnovers, as both teams have only forced 2 on the season. They don't get a lot of turnovers forced, and that could be huge in this game if one of these teams were to come away with a turnover, or an Arkansas standpoint, the way Auburn has played in some of these games, get 3 or 4 turnovers. If a team's able to get one, that might be huge at the rate that these teams don't get turnovers. They don't create them. Now, the offenses, particularly Auburn's, will be trying to give the ball to the defense at times in this football game. So we'll see if that helps them create turnovers. But neither one of these teams have been very good at creating the turnovers. And so if a team gets 1 or 2, that could be huge in this game. Number 3 for me is being disciplined on both sides of the football. Arkansas comes in averaging 61 penalty yards a game. Auburn comes in averaging 64 penalty yards a game. So they're pretty even with penalties. 61 and 64 yards is a lot of yards, especially for a team like Auburn, who has struggled offensively in some games this year. In that Cal game, they struggled offensively in that football game. That could be huge. Those penalties could be huge because 61, 64 yards is basically an entire drive of offensive drive of penalties, and yardage wise. That could be huge in this football game, especially with this, I would assume, going to be a close game, going to be a hard-fought game. Every yard's going to count. You give up those yards and penalties, and that could play a huge factor in this football game. So now to the score prediction. I mentioned earlier, Auburn is favored by 3. The over/under set at 58.5. I think Arkansas covers, and I think they win outright. I have them winning this game 23-17. I do think it hits the under. With my score prediction, it would combine for 19 points short of the under. It might be a little bit more high scoring than what I have it down as, but I do think it hits the under, and I have Arkansas covering. I think that they will win this football game. I think they're going to be able to go into Auburn and dominate both lines of scrimmage. And that's why I have them winning the football game. I think they're going to dominate the lines of scrimmage, control the football, and make Auburn have to throw. And I just don't think that Auburn's pass game is good enough to do that. I don't think Peyton Thorne is good enough to do that. But we'll see how it plays out Saturday. But, yep, that's how I have it. That's how I have this one ending up. Arkansas 23, Auburn 17. We appreciate everybody tuning in today. Make sure you subscribe and drop a comment down below. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see